How's it going, everybody? So today I wanted to take you through one of my leg workouts just to kind of give you an idea of how my training's been going and some insight into what training for maximum hypertrophy looks like. So quick intro, right now I am using the Renaissance periodization templates. To learn about their methods, you can watch the interview I did with Dr. Mike Israetel and you'll get a quick rundown. He talks about how we titrate up volume or periodize volume throughout a training cycle, how you take your intensity from 3 reps in reserve all the way to 1 or 0 reps in reserve towards the end of a mesocycle, and then you deload. He talks about all that in my podcast, so I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time explaining it. Essentially, that's how I'm training. I'll put a little bit of the template up there, but I don't want to review all of their information, so I will link the templates down below, but I just wanted to give you an idea of what a day looks like. This is about I would say a 1 RIR workout. So I'm just going to talk through as the workout goes on and give you an insight of what's going through my head as I do it and what kind of happened. I try to keep this workout pretty uncut. I showed 2 sets of my leg press and then just 1 set of everything else. So let's just go through it. So here you'll see me setting up for the leg press. I cut out like a minute of setting up. It takes me a long time to get set up for an exercise. And I noticed that with this leg press, having my feet in somewhat of a V position allowed me to get much deeper. I also have this leg press reverse banded. I was doing on my last mesocycle, the beginning of this mesocycle, I was doing hack squats, carrying over the weight from the last mesocycle on hack squats, and I tweaked my knee at the bottom. I think it was a result of not deloading properly. So what happened was I had to actually I learned that if I reverse banded what I was doing on the leg press, the pain in my knee went away. And I've built up over weeks and I'm increasing load to where I could comfortably handle this amount of weight. And this even, I still had to do a working set of 30 reps to get my knee feeling right for this weight. So I'm just going to kind of be quiet and show you what the intensity looks like towards the end of a set. So what's really helped a lot with using RP's methods is I'm looking for objective measures of failure. Before I would try to have to guess, and there's definitely some like guesswork that goes into it, but with the knowing what my 1 RIR is because of all of previous week's data, I know what rep number I'm looking for, and generally I'll be right on point with that. So right there I was looking for, I believe, 12 reps. I can't remember what it was. I think it was 12. And I knew that at 12 I was going to hit 1 or 0 RIR, and I did. And I mean, I knew that I wasn't going to be able to get another rep there too, but sometimes when you are maybe fatigued or tired, you may stop short. So it's really good to have these objective measurements of week to week, logging your lifts, logging your reps, trying to progress either your weight or your reps from week to week. And then this is just another angle. You can see how my feet are pointed in somewhat of a V. It just allowed me to get much deeper, much more range of motion. Those of you who follow me on social media, I'm a big believer in getting a full range of motion. And here again, you're going to see me hit, I believe it's a 0 RIR, to be honest. This is my second mesocycle using an RIR system, and I'm usually going too hard, so I find myself having to pull back more often because I'm used to going to failure more often. Alright, and then here you have me doing squats. I have a small wedge. That just allows me to get more depth because I have a little bit limited ankle mobility. And I'm trying to get my hamstrings down on my calves. And a little bit of pause at the bottom. If those of you who follow me on Instagram, you saw I did a post where I was doing like 400-pound squats and maybe half the depth. And my legs have grown significantly from just lowering the weight and doing more depth on my squats. So again, here I believe we're going for a, well, I think my program says 1 RIR, but I go for 0 because I think I can handle it being more advanced. Trying to keep every rep consistent with the last. Again, we're talking about technical failure. So if your form breaks in any way, shape, or form in order to get the weight up, that is beyond failure, and I think is pretty unproductive. It increases your injury risk dramatically, takes load off the target muscles. And then here we have a hamstring curl. This is really good. This is a really good example, I think, of you know, taking videos is really important, and tracking everything is really important, because here I don't think I hit 1 or 0 RAR. I think I may have hit like 3. My measure here is different though. My rep speed doesn't slow down on these as much. I just can't complete a full rep and then I'm done. So I can't remember how I felt. I think it might have been 2, to be honest. But I know that that last like quarter of the movement gets really hard. I'm trying to, you know, go full range of motion, so until the machine stops on this one. And I can't remember exactly what happened. I would say I probably could have went harder here, but it's good for, you know, I'll know for next time that that was a little bit easier. That was a 2 RIR and I can go harder. Also, I like using the lying hamstring curl, but we didn't have one at this gym. So it's much harder for me to gauge failure on the seated one than it is lying. Just how it works is kind of odd, but I think right here, yeah, if you look at my like leg, I couldn't get it all the way back, so maybe that was actual failure. And then here we have the calf raises. Again, something I learned from John Meadows when I was starting to get into full range of motion training is he always trained the stretch and the calf raises, and I would say that's really important. All the way down, all the way up, squeeze as hard as you can at the top. And you notice I have a little 5-pound plate because the machine I think only goes up in 10-pound increments. And I'm going to start putting calf training at the beginning of my session because I feel like it always doesn't get the attention it needs. And I'd like my calves to be a little bit bigger, to be honest, just to match the rest of my physique. All right, so there you have it. That's going to be my leg workout. That was actually the last leg workout I did in California before I moved to Arizona. That training session isn't going to be typical of what my training generally looks like. It's different every time I walk in the gym, depending on what week in the mesocycle that I am. So this was week 5, so this would actually be my most intense week. I still see areas where I can improve, and that's really important. To be objective in where you can improve, and then to carry that over into subsequent training cycles. And the amount of volume I did this, actually, so right now I'm doing a the RP training template that I'm using is an arm and shoulder focused training template. So it actually puts my leg volume and frequency down a lot so I can have more arm and shoulder volume. So I'm actually only training legs once a week here, and I think it's only like 6 sets of quads and like 4 sets of hamstrings. That's only temporary. My legs have actually always been a strong point, and I've been just trying to get my arms to grow. So maybe if I can get the time, I'll do an arm training video and show you what I'm doing for that right now. Anyway, if there's anything you want to know specifically about my training, leave it down in the comments or message me. If you like this video and you want to see more of my training videos and talk about my methodology and my approach to training, give this video a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you want to see more of these videos as well. Thank you all for watching. Talk to you soon.